What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, hanging out with my best friend from high school, Evan Chavez with RECollection Graphics, and we're going to talk about some artwork and I don't know. We're going to do those kinds of things. That's all we got. Wait, that's not all we got. We just got the show started. Here we go.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Ah, here it comes! The motherfucking Loud Spot!
I love when I butcher an intro, dude. I absolutely love it. I used to hate it, and now I go back and I'm like, that was actually kind of cool. That was kind of funny. So before we do get the show started, I do want to remind everyone to please check us out on all podcasting networks. Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, share, like, comment, all those good things. Okay, Evan Chavez with RECollection Graphics, man. What's going on, dude?
Not much, just getting geared up for the holiday season. I've been trying to push, commissions recently, building up a website, getting all my social media straightened out.
Yeah, dude, and social media is so important to be able to like push a brand or push. And you're not a big social media guy, you never really have been. And I told you what? Oh, I guess it's been over 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
since
you had me draw that cover splash panel. What was it? It was 2 years ago, I think, October 2020.
Dude, that's so crazy, man.
Yeah,
time goes. And there was a time there where you were doing a lot of like band art for like, so you kind of started, I mean, you've always been an artist, but you kind of started taking it on as like an extra income kind of career from after the podcast things. And we had some bands going, and I was just going through some of the Facebook photos, and I remember when we did the Battle of the Bands. Yeah, and we had It's All Grizzly on there.
Yeah, no, I love that one. So the lead singer, I guess they call him Dipper, and I just finished watching that entire series for Gravity Falls, and I was like, we should do something with that, like and I think they mentioned a Sasquatch hunt because he loves Sasquatch. I'm like, oh shit, that would be awesome. All right, I just mixed it together, and it came out like it's pretty good. It's got a good Gravity Falls feel to it.
Yeah, what's your favorite style? We're gonna, and for those that are listening on audio, you won't be able to see some of the drawings we're gonna pull up, but for those that are on YouTube, you will be able to see those. We're gonna share some different drawings that he does. And what's cool about you is you have different styles of art that you do. It's not just one. A lot of times you'll see an artist and you can tell it's that specific artist because they have a certain way they do things. I think you have a certain way you do things with different styles, though.
Yeah, I'm still trying to evolve my personal style, like if that makes sense, what would be uniquely me. But what I try and do is be a vehicle for whoever's like whatever somebody wants, like whatever they want drawn or painted up. I try and give them exactly that. So that's why you'll see, like if someone asks me to draw their family in the Simpsons style or something in Gravity Falls. Or
you did a Naruto, whatever that show's called. I don't know.
Yeah, so that one was more like just in my own style, kind of like line art comic book style. But I did it with the Naruto, like the feel of it.
Yeah, so I knew I said it wrong. I said Naruto. What is it called? Naruto?
Naruto. Yeah, you got in my head. I almost said it wrong too.
I got the vowels mixed up. I've never even seen that cartoon. I didn't know what kind of style that was until I think Steven Seward had mentioned it or someone. I was like, I don't know. I've never watched really Japanimation type stuff. But the art is super cool. Okay, so I want to get into one of your first drawings. This is one that you just did. This was it today?
No, I think I did it Saturday, posted it Sunday.
Okay. And this is the Green Power Ranger who is no longer with us. Yeah. Well, and his name is Jason David Frank.
Yeah, Jason David Frank.
Here we go. And there is that. So what inspired this style of artwork? It's almost like a watercolor kind of towards the bottom a little bit, right?
Yeah, what I was doing here was, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to find what would be uniquely me. I follow a lot of artists on Instagram where they do a lot of overlays. So like their lines, like the line art that I've got in there would be kind of washed into the subject, so it's not as harsh. But I like that. I like the cut lines in the face, and sometimes throwing a little bit of hashing in like the shadows. So I'm trying to find a way to mix the two. And so in doing that, I was like, yeah, I'll just kind of do like a painterly look to it. So that's where the watercolor kind of comes into it.
Have you ever seen a drawing and been like, fuck, man, I can't do that shit? Has that ever happened?
Every day. Instagram's the worst place to go if you want to try and put your art out there. There's so many talented artists. Every time I open up my feed, I'm like, oh, shit, what am I even doing?
On the other end of that, have you ever seen an artist you're like, that's weak, dude, I can do better than that?
No.
What?
No.
You've never done that? You've never been like,
no.
That's not that. No, you just appreciate art. Is it rude to say? It's like, well, if I drew something, I would hope you would say that shit sucks.
No.
Like, I would hope so.
No, so I've got 2 kids, and what I'm trying to do is encourage them to keep progressing and getting better. And I think that with everybody, no matter at what point in their life or in their career, or it doesn't even have to be a career with art, but just like whatever they're doing, they can always get better. Like I look at this and I see probably 3 or 4 things that I don't like about it, but I can't beat myself up about it. I just got to do better on the next one.
I mean, I don't think I could ever do anything like that. No matter how much I practice, it's like me and singing. I just can't do it. Like I can draw, it doesn't look good, but
yeah.
I mean, I can sing, it doesn't sound good, you know? So, but you, I mean, come on, dude. It's just the truth. It's just the way it is.
No, but like if you look at some of the stuff, like there was like the first pass at the podcast cover that I did for you.
Yeah.
Compared to what you got down here in the corner, right up in here, that was a 2-year progression in what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And I think again, like I fell more into my own style, or I'm getting closer to it, and you can see the progression.
Yeah, and it looks so good. I mean, it looks fantastic. And I remember that night I called you and I said, hey, can you draw me something? Because I was looking for like a drawing for my podcast, and immediately I thought of you. Just because, I mean, since 9th grade, you were always drawing cool stuff. And I remember trying to be like, man, I could probably try to do that. And I could not. I couldn't even trace it good, dude.
Yeah.
You know, but go ahead.
I'm just saying that's how everyone starts, though. You look at something else, and a lot of what I read online, they talk about like study artists. And when I was a kid, I would just like look at comics by Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld, and I was trying to imitate them. So I would see a panel and I would try and draw exactly what they had drawn. And sometimes it looked good. Other times it looked bad.
I've never seen you do abstract.
Yeah, no.
I could probably do abstract. I could just get like a white background and like throw some paint on it real quick and be like, boom, art, $1,000.
I don't see it. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I don't know what part of the brain I have to turn on to make that work, but
yeah, I mean, abstract art is I think it's, and you know, I'm not even going to say it because it might sound like I'm saying something negative when I don't mean to say it. So I'm just going to skip over that. I'm not going to say, okay. I will say it. Screw it. And because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe abstract artists, I don't know if abstract artists can actually take a vision of like an image of something and recreate that exact image. I think their brain might work more sporadic because they're like my oldest daughter, she was doing like abstract art. She could actually draw kind of decently. And she does abstract art, but I noticed her abstract art was actually getting better and better the more she was doing it. She doesn't really do it so much anymore, but there is a talent to abstract art, but it's very different than what you're doing. And I'm going to pull up this image right here, which is very different than the Power Ranger. This is kind of more of a loud spotty cartoony type drawing, right?
So I did this as a gift for my daughter for Christmas last year. My kids are big into Avatar, the Last Airbender, the show from Nickelodeon. And I decided to draw them in that animation style. And so that's what this is.
I mean, how do you even get the shadows? You look at it and you see like the shadows coming off of that, like a fireball kind of thing, right? And you see the shadows on the dress and on the hair. And that has to see, it's those kinds of things I could never envision or even where to place those.
Yeah, that's been it seems like if I explained it like it would be like, oh, that's so simple, but it's like connecting the dots. That's how my progression has been. It's like I do it once, or I study one aspect of someone else's art and I go, oh, that makes so much sense. But it really is like, if you just imagine that the fire's giving off light, it's giving off, the energy from the light source is going to be bouncing off of your figure. So my daughter in this picture. So as it's arcing up and over her body, it's casting light down in that direction. So
and you can just see that. Like, you don't even have to be like, hey, stand under this light real quick and let me see where the shadow goes.
no, I mean, it's
that's what I would do.
Yeah, just look at your face in the mirror and you follow the symmetry. Like, you can see the shadows, like the light from the light overhead kind of bouncing off me. It's like light over here, dark over here. And it's same thing.
I used to think I knew you, man. I just think you're sick, man. Like, you're just not a healthy individual. Because I wonder how because like everyone sees things differently, and I've always thought about this even since we were little kids. I was like, he must see the world way differently than I do to be able to like pick up on these things. Like, you must pay way more attention than I do, because I don't pay attention to anything, I guess.
Well, I did focus on one thing when I started drawing for people. When I opened up my commissions and I started drawing for bands and things like that, there's things that uniquely make your face you. And those are the things that I try and find when I can pinpoint those and then get those in the drawing. Then it can be a little wonky. The head could be a little crooked. Eyes could be off. Something could be off. But if you get the things that make that person uniquely them, then it gives it a bit of authenticity to where it doesn't matter the style. It's just you can tell, like, oh, this is my cousin Chewy or Beto, or this is Sebastian.
You go straight to Mexican names, bro. Chewy or Beto, not like Arnold or Susie.
No, or Skylar,
Chad and Brad and Chad's over there.
Yeah.
I guess when you're doing your artwork and when you say open for commissions, I know I dogged on you earlier. I was like, dude, no one says that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But I probably shouldn't have said that. And after I said it, I was like, that was kind of rude. I probably shouldn't have said it that way. But open for commissions means you're open for work to get paid to do drawings for people. And right now it's a holiday season. Look, doing a present, and as I talk about this, I'm going to pull up this Simpsons picture of a family you did over here. Okay. Oh, yeah. How cool would it be? And it doesn't have to be Simpsons. This is just an example of different artwork. This is the third example that we've shown so far of different things that you can do. How cool would it be though if a family hits you up, or as a husband or a mother or whatever, and you want something drawn for your family, and it's your family, but in this kind of setting or in a different kind of cartoon setting? Evan here can do this for you, and it's a great piece to frame. The family can show it off. It's a conversation piece for when people come over to your house. It's not just a gift. It's really, it's meaningful. In fact, I'm going to get this drawing that you did. I think I don't know if it's on your page or not, actually.
It is.
Is it on your page? Okay, so yeah. I'll get to it. So this is just a very cool, awesome gift, not only for Christmas, but a birthday present, Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
Easter.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying like
Halloween gift.
Yeah, the resurrection bunny. He's ready. He needs something.
Let me see if I can go over here and see if I can find that. And while I'm doing this, is there like a standard? Here, I do want to show this one. Is there like a standard fee you would charge somebody, or does it kind of depend on really what they want? And I'll just say that I'm going to bring up this dog photo that you did right here.
Yeah, that one was cool. This was actually, I don't know if you remember my dog from high school, Casey.
Casey. Yeah, there was Casey and Jerry.
Yeah, Casey and Jerry.
This is Casey, huh?
No. That's
somebody, it looks like her though.
Yeah, somebody contacted me about drawing their painting, like doing a painting style of portrait of their dog, and they loved it. So I was happy to put it out there and show everybody. I've actually gotten, I think, 2 or 3 more that I can't post just yet. A lot. That's the hard part with this time of year, is that anything I do, it seems like there's a lull in what I'm putting out, because I can't post it, or somebody's going to see it. Whoever it's going to, they're going to see it.
Right. So is there a standard fee that you charge? I don't know if it's,
it all depends, because so this is pretty straightforward, but
right.
I had a
take it off real quick, but yeah, go ahead.
I have a client who wanted me to draw something pretty intricate. Like they wanted 5 members of his family, an additional character, and then in a setting that was pretty intricate. I'm actually going to post it on Instagram tomorrow if anybody's looking to.
What happens if you take I don't know how long it takes you to draw stuff. It could take a while, but how many revisions can they get before you're like, dude, screw you? I mean, and you can't really even say that because you want people to speak positive of you.
Yeah.
But is there like a limit? Like, hey, dude, all right, I've done this. I'm happy with it. I mean, and I know I'm not going to talk about who it was, but I know for a fact that you've done artwork yourself that they wanted it a certain way that you didn't like that style of art. You didn't like what you did. And you're like, I don't even want my name on this thing. But that's because but the guy that you made it for loved it, you know, and shared it. And that would suck to do something that you didn't like.
Well, that one was a learning experience for me, because I had that conversation. I think I told you about it. I had a conversation with my wife, and it's not, the finished product isn't about me. It's about obviously the customer. So I had to divorce myself from that. And
that's hard, man.
Yeah, it is.
You want to be proud of, because you always want to show off your art, right? You want to be proud of what you've done. So, okay, here I found, here's the picture. So here's what's cool about this is there's on the very bottom left corner on this photo, that's me and sitting right next to Evan. Okay. And also the bottom picture of me on this podcast on the overlay where it says the loud spot's also me. So there's a cartoon version, a little bit more of a realistic version of myself, and then Evan, and then also right above the two of us is also Evan above me, and then me above Evan. And then it's actually supposed to be it says 1997.
I fixed it.
You fixed it on here, but on my photo it's not fixed. I have the one hanging up in this podcast room over here, and that one says 1999.
Yeah,
but yeah, you fixed it to say 1997. So
yeah, I messed up. I think for your listeners, I was practicing that 9. I didn't want it to look different, so I just kept doing 99999, and I knew it was 1997. But when I printed it and sent it out, there was 3 9s there instead.
Did you when you gave it to me, were you realizing I didn't notice that?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things I call myself out on, those little imperfections. To me, that was a big one.
Did I say you were realizing I didn't notice it? I meant, or I don't know if I said that wrong, but were you hoping I didn't notice it is what I meant to say if I didn't say that.
No. And when I realized it when we were driving down to Oklahoma City.
So it's too late to do it.
It was way too late. It was the day of. I'm like, wait a minute. Because we were talking about it in the car. I was talking about high school and when my wife graduated, when I graduated, and then I did the math again. I'm like, oh shit, I wrote 99. Yeah,
1999. We were sophomore. Well, because we met in 1997, the beginning of our freshman year.
Yeah.
Of high school. That's a whole nother story. We may have even talked about it before. I don't know.
Talk about butchered intros. That one was bad.
Yeah. Hey, here we still are, man. All these years later. Okay. I'm going to show you my favorite picture. I think I can find it pretty quick here. And I love this style of art. And oh my God, there's so, okay. I'm going to go to this one. Then I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, that one's so cool too, man. Oh, you got so many good ones in here. And I'm purposely not showing it on camera just yet. So I'm going to click through some of these. And
well, that one I did for my daughter, like you were talking about, like it's great to display or give as a gift. That one we printed out on a 4x4 canvas. I did one for my son as well. And they just put it up in their room. They loved it. My daughter had it like on the wall right above her bed, and she just
this one right here needs to be on a shirt or something. This one's my favorite drawing, besides me, of course, because I'm conceited, so I like myself. But this is probably my favorite drawing of yours, just because I love the style of it. And like I said, for our audio listeners, you really want to go on YouTube and check out some of this artwork to really get what we're talking about here. because it is absolutely this picture right here is so freaking cool, man. And I don't know what it is about this style of art or what it is about this picture. Maybe I don't know, but it really connects with me in a way that's just different than some of your other drawings. I just like it's almost like it's almost like a dirty bird.
It's just ragged.
And it just, maybe I have like some inner shit I got to deal with. I feel like I'm ragged, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but he's kind of sad and he's just hanging out there. This reminds me, for some reason, of, to connect with music as a musical podcast that we are, kind of connects me to like The Used in a certain way. The Bird and the Worm, remember that was an album they had?
Yeah.
And I don't think it looked anything like this, but it just brings me back to early 2000s kind of emo music when I look at it. And what inspired this photo?
So this was for, you see there, that's the Inktober of last year. So I've been trying to, like I said, trying to just kind of evolve my style. And I took those art challenges where they give you a prompt every day for the month of October. And this one was Raven. And it's real easy to just draw a Raven. Or I think one of them was Vessel. And so, you could just draw a boat or something.
I would have drawn like this. I would have drawn like an M and like a sky with the sun. And that would have been a raven in the background.
And it probably would have got 1,000 likes on it.
That would have been horrible.
But
would have a little grass with a tree and a little house next to it.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was do something different, like put my own spin on it. So like anybody could draw a raven, but can I give it character? Can I, at that point, like you can see how this is a little more kind of watercolory. This is when I really started messing with that because I wanted to I have one day to do each of these illustrations. Right. And if I'm working for somebody, I take my time. It might be a week before I'm finished, but in this, I give myself an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. And then, so I'm like, just do some line art and then do some sort of like washed out watercolor colors on there. And
I personally really want like a poster of this or some sort of, I mean, I guess I could just steal it from your page and print it at Walmart or something like that, or Walgreens or CVS. That is a good picture, man.
Well, that's the plan, is to on my website that I'm building, is to have some sort of shop section where people can purchase things that I've done. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. If it's going to be like on shirts or canvas or cardstock, I don't know.
You can buy whatever. There's multiple things you can do with that. So I know we haven't really said the pricing. I want to give like the audience a general, like just because you're not charging an arm and a leg here, but you do got to make some money off of it, right? Yeah. What would you say, like a generic, just like a generic photo of like one person?
Just a generic photo of one person. Well, okay, so I will throw a number out, but what I'm saying is there's things that go into it.
I get it out. Yeah, and these numbers he's gonna say, dude, we're not living and dying by these numbers. These are just so people get an idea of like a price point. If someone says, I don't have a lot of money, I'm on a budget. I got it's me, my wife, and my daughter. Okay.
All right. So
they just want
three
a picture
people
of them sitting in a living room or something.
All right, and that's what I'm saying is like, if you want background, I like messing with color splash and graphics and stuff behind people to give it like a feel like there's more going on than just the portrait. And for me, it saves time and less I have to charge somebody.
Right.
If I was doing 3 people in a portrait that was more detailed, I'd probably charge about $150. And but with all my customers, I only charge half up front, and then that gets me started. And that way, there's some skin in the game. So they can't halfway through be like, I don't want you to do it. And I've spent 7 or 8 hours on their
and
work.
at least at that point you get to keep whatever they gave you. And that's standard. If you go get an appointment, I mean, you and I don't have hair, but a lot of times at a salon, if you make an appointment, they want like some money up front. So even if you don't show up, at least it's not a waste of their time for it, and they get other clients, in the door. Okay, this one's also really cool, and then the picture of your family you do is really cool. But this one speaks out to me also. This is a little mouse eating cheese, and is that supposed to be like a cat, like a devil cat or something in the background?
Yeah. So again, this is what I'm talking about with trying to like push myself in a short amount of time. So this was for this year's Inktober. Yeah. And the prompt was snack. And that you could do anything. You could do Cheez-Its, Red Vines, cottage cheese. I don't care.
But do people win these things? Like, are there winners, or is just people post stuff?
No, it's just to challenge yourself, I think.
Okay.
So I thought, like a mouse and a piece of cheese would be a snack, but then like, think of the layers. So the cat watching them. But then I was thinking, like, how do I put a unique spin on this? And I thought, like, it would be really cool if it was like washed out. Like, imagine like all the Disney villains, how green is the signifying color that they're the villain. And so I basically took the color palette from what was it, that Be Prepared song from The Lion King, when he's walking around singing to the hyenas, and I used that as this. So really all I did was these dark lines here, the line art in the back for the cat, and then the rest is just blacked out with highlights of green in there. So I didn't really even draw anything for the cat, just the eyes. And
that is so cool, man.
Yeah.
Is there one that you really like, kind of you were hoping I'd put on here? I mean, there's several on here, like the crab. I like this one right here. This one's really cool. It's another bird one, little Mexican bird, or
yeah,
neat.
That's my rooster vato.
Then the last one I want to show is this one right here, which I think is really neat. And you had a funny on Facebook, had a funny saying on it here. This is you and your wife and the kids in the backseat of a car there, and it's like you're not paying attention to the road, and your wife's like freaking out trying to grab the wheel there, and there's your son, laughing like he typically would be. That's kind of like you.
Yeah.
Your daughter's like, I'm just gonna ignore this over here and
yeah,
look out
she's
this
got
window.
Her headphones in, just like dead. I mean, like cut off from the world.
Yeah.
But no, so we love that show, Mitchell's versus the Machines on Netflix. So there's that movie that they put out, I think it was last year. And I think this one was Road Trip.
Okay.
Or something like that. Trip, I think is what it was. And it's a constant battle with my wife, trying to get me to pay attention to the road. She's like, how do you miss the directions? Siri's yelling at you. I can't talk to you. So, or I get distracted. So I just figured I would put that trip and just road trip. I just kind of build on it and try and make it more unique than.
Well, what's cool about it is it's like the small details, right? That I guess I'm paying attention to it. Really, you can tell that you're moving because the lines in the sky would show movement, that you're going forward, right? Mm-hmm. And then even looking at the trees or the bushes in the background, they're kind of blurred as you're driving past them.
Yeah.
It's those little tiny things, and you even got a little bit of shadows on these characters here too.
Yeah. Again, this was me trying to mix the two. So like when I'm doing like a I don't know if you'd call it more cell shading, where like it's harsh cut shadows or highlights. I'm mixing the two, where it's basically flats. Just one color with like an airbrushed shadow tone or highlight over the top of it. Again, this was just like, I'm giving myself 2 hours to do this, knock it out. So when I pick it apart myself, I see things that, I could have done this a little different, might have addressed that differently, but
I love it. And I hate to say it, but I probably am biased, but you are my favorite artist. Not only do you do stuff for the show, you've done stuff for friends and family. Just really all around a great artist. What is the name of your website? I know it's not out yet, but you got to have the domain, right?
Yeah, RECollectionGraphics.com.
And that's RECollection. It's RECollection, RECollection Graphics, spelled just graphics. There's no X in it. It's graphics the way graphics it's supposed to be spelled. Yeah. RECollection Graphics. I know you have an Instagram. I know you're on Facebook. Also, just you can just look up Evan Chavez. I think you probably do more with you post on RECollection Graphics and you share it to your personal page.
Right. Yeah.
So
somebody just made the connection.
Facebook, you can find them on my friends list.
Yeah. Somebody just made the connection the other day. So RECollection, whenever I write it out or put it anywhere, the REC is capitalized. That's because those are my initials, Robert Evan Chavez.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. You told me about actually when you first were coming up with the name.
Yeah. So I thought it was cool, but it's probably stupid.
No, now, and I, like I said earlier, commissions means he's open for work. I guess that's lingo. And I was like, dude, just say like, hey, I'll draw something for you, but you got to pay me. I guess open for commission sounds more professional, in a way. So you guys want any, like I said before, any holiday work, birthday work. We got Christmas coming up in less than a month. This is going to air. In fact, it's Tuesday right now with the 22nd. So this is going to air Monday, the 23rd. I got to go in there, make the YouTube thumbnails, all those kinds of things. I'm going to actually call you after this show's over. And I do want to end the show with a song.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if YouTube's going to allow it or not. I know the audio podcasting will. If YouTube takes it off, I will take it off. We're going to end it with a guy named Hardy. Okay. That I know people want me to do reaction videos to. Honestly, I've seen some other people do it. I like the song. Not much. I'm not very good at reaction videos either. But there's not much for me to react to on the song. But this song is a really, really cool song. The song's called Jack. It's kind of a country metal guy. Okay. So we're going to play this. But before we do this, we're going to play this song, then play the outro song. Evan stayed there the whole entire time. Check out RECollection Graphics. Go on my page. Go on his page. Let me read this real quick. Check out his artwork. Fantastic. Cheap. Not cheap, but it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to get a very cool drawing for your family. And you're going to do it now because I'll tell you what, in 5 years, this dude keeps on building his career. It's going to be a lot more than a basic $150 for something that's fantastic. It's going to be way more than that. So get in now while you can. So, all right, here we go with Hardy and the song. I think it's called Jack. Pretty sure it's called Jack. Here we go.
Myself as a friend of your dad's when he had no one else. I'll put the party in your life, boy, you know I can. Have you ever wanted to feel like Superman? I see that blonde hair over there looking at you. You wanna say what's up, but can't work up the courage to. But if you stick with me, buddy, you can bet your life she'll be walking out with you by the end of the night. So don't listen to mama, hell, I ain't the devil. Ditch me when you wanna, but if you need a little, I can fix your problems, I always got your back. I can make you famous, by the way my name is. Me off. Say you're broken and your soul is sin, it's all my fault. So tell me, old friend, is it such a sin? All I did was make you happy, so to hell with them. And don't listen to mama, hell, I ain't the devil. Ditch me when you wanna, but if you need a little, I can fix your problems, I always got your back. I can make you famous, by the way my name is.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really has to end. A pimp host has to pimp show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.